is being recorded.
Putting it in record mode and presentation mode, and we say welcome to everybody. This is the Diamond Factory where diamonds are made. I always have to stress that because that's what they are. They're made, they're developed, and who better can do that than a diamond? See, iron sharpens iron. And I am so privileged on this day to be able to say to you, we are going to hear nuggets. We're going to hear whatever we need to get our business moving in the direction that it needs to go from our own diamonds. Diamond Willie Mooney. Listen, this man is a hard-working man. He does whatever he's got to do to take care of family, business, and everything else. And I so appreciate that. And so here, everybody, get your pen and paper and receive our Diamond Willie Mooney. Are you out there, sir?
Hey, Dr. Ross, thank you so much. You're a game changer, man. I love that introduction. I love you, Dr. Ross. Just so amazing. I love it's just I'm gonna give it back to you because you and Adrian, I remember were some of the first faces that I saw that I'm like, man, what a powerful couple, what a powerful team. So, if anything, Dr. Roz, I would say, especially in this marriage world, that, man, please, I'm learning, and you and your husband have been amazing examples, and you've been amazing examples as a leader. So,
Thank you, sir.
you've had the courage, and I could keep going on and on about you, Dr. Roz. It's so much that hit my brain, and a lot of times I have to grab my bearings. And I kind of want to talk about some of the temperament as well as go into some things that, when you mention diamond, I can't help but to think about leadership, team, and things like that, business. So bear with me. I was talking to my team this week, Dr. Roz. And I had a chance to talk to a couple people. Shout out to Dorothy Ellis. I had a chance to talk to her while I was riding in the car headed to the wellness dispensary to do what? Cook. Not cook and serve. And she was like, you and Melissa, you guys do, oh my God, I can't see how you do it. And she was giving accolades to how much we were accomplishing how much we were able to get done. And like you just said, introducing me to the call. But talking to my team, and I can only imagine, I know what I and maybe Melissa and anybody who's in leadership goes through when it's like trying to get things done, but at the same time, trying to get your bearings or your footing. So, I was talking to Dorothy Ellis, talking with my team on Monday. And one thing that came out with one of the top leaders in my team was that they had lost their bearing or their footing with the company. And I could feel it because sometimes I have to recalibrate. Sometimes it's hard to really stay focused. My wife tells me all the time, stay focused. So I get where they were coming from. A lot of things, I'm going to use the word, have changed. A lot of things have shifted, new products. And I'm going to just throw this out here so you can understand. Shift, new president, right? Leaders coming and going. I'm going to hit that sometimes when you hear me talk, because to such a degree, when you look at transition, when you look at time, you got to recalibrate. You got to get your bearings and footings, especially when things change. And it's like it hits you with a blow that you might not be prepared for, or maybe you are prepared. I'm going to leave it in that space. So I want to talk about what I've seen that has been accomplished. And I met with my team and I told them shared with them what was possible. And then it hit me what Pastor Dan has talks to us all about a lot is the mindset. Because I do have a strategy, but understanding where people may be, including myself, I have to speak to the mindset. And so I thought about in the spirit of the blood type, battle of the blood types. Remember that, in the spirit of battle of the blood types. And this may get me in trouble, you know. And part of me, part of me is like, if I get in trouble, then maybe they'll complain to Melissa or the CEO, and I won't be doing this no more. And I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. So, and then part of me is like, God, you know what? You told me that, well, I made a deal with him. I said, you know what, God, if you grant me more time when I was battling cancer, and even after that, I was like, if you grant me more time, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I say whatever you tell me to say, and I'll go wherever you tell me to go, even if it gets me in so-called trouble. So I'm a little nervous about what I'm going to say, but I'm also cool with what I'm about to say. So I don't mean to offend. I'm putting out all disclaimers. I don't mean to intimidate, offend anybody. I'm an open book. I try my best to stand transparency and vulnerability. So you go, and message always starts with me. So I said, in the spirit of battle of the blood types, I got a chance to see something totally amazing. I got a chance to see the blood type A's work together, the blood type B's, I'm a blood type B, work together. So I'm saying I'm a blood type B. Remember that. And I hope you guys have some notes. And I got a chance to see the O's rock, and the AB manned a position. It wasn't like all the rest of us, but the AB manned a position, and it was just amazing. And everybody, in my eyes, everybody won, because I got a chance to really look at the dynamic of how everybody operated. And I know everybody at the time felt like a winner, and everybody did win. You know, the numbers may have been different, the volume, the look, the creative activity, the food made it taste different, whatever the case may be. But man, everybody really won. So I was sharing it with my team in the spirit of a battle of the blood types, and we have a protocol. So let me drop this nugget, write this down. I'm going to follow what I'm going to say up tomorrow with strategy, but I already put it out to my team, and I already put it in our Akana Lifestyle Facebook group. All right. But so I put some tools in there. So I'm going to talk about mindset. Then tomorrow I'm going to talk about tools. Right. So make sure, if you want people to hear or see what it is about the tools that I believe these are game changing tools, put them in that, or be in that Akana Lifestyle Facebook group. So here we go. Got a little constructive criticism, and it's in the spirit of the blood types. But I think that what I'm about to say, message started with me. I think it's just something that I needed to hear for myself, right? Being a blood type B and being a leader. But I'm going to probably trigger some things in the spirit of constructive criticism, in the spirit of battle of the blood type, where you might disagree, you might agree, but you might relate. But I think overall, if we adopt 4 different mindsets, 4 different things, one mindset but 4 different principles, I think we can all slam, all the way around, not just in the corner, but all the way around. So I'm going to start out with this constructive criticism. I got something for the A's, the B's, the O's, the ABs. But this all should apply, and we've all heard this when we look at ourselves as trying to be whole. So got some for the A's. Man, this might sting a little bit, but I'm saying it's something when I'm observing and I'm talking with my team, and I'm like, what was given to me was to be present, right? And now all of us need to be present, but I'm like, okay, A's, understanding and seeing A's in action. I'm like, okay, well, if I had to offer a constructive criticism, I would say be present, stay focused, right, on what's right. Sometimes what's right in front of you, what's being said right in the front of you. Now, A's have a gift, an amazing gift, that, man, they can create something out of nothing. And their brains, I've noticed, are like, man, oh my God, they can be well, let's do this. Let's get creative and vision. And they, like I said, they could create something out of nothing, which probably makes it challenging to just stay focused and be present in the moment. Right. Now that's, I can be, I have a little of that in me. Right. When you look at my blood type. And one thing I'm going to now, the blood type B, because that's me. And you know what? Ugh. Margaret Dorsey, I had a conversation with her, and she was like, she was speaking directly to me, and I can't really attribute this necessarily to my blood type, but maybe it is in that area. And she was like, you got to learn how to be a leader of all the blood types. I was like, woo, that's deep. Because I was talking about blood type A, and I'm working with a lot of people. I always say, man, it's a lot of them. Margaret Dorsey is but the B part that hit me, that stung me, was that I'm learning how to, in a B area, and I'm speaking to the Bs with constructive criticism, is play team. Like, be a team player. Now, Bs might be like, well, I'm balanced, and, I could rock and roll with everyone. But now I notice that I've had my own personal issues, that if it doesn't go my way, if it doesn't go my way, I got a problem with it. I have an instant response, an immediate response in my feelings. Like my mom used to say, there you go, shrugging them shoulders again. Like she could read me. So B's, I'm like, okay, well, and like I say, message start with me. I got to learn how to play team and be a leader for all the blood types. Now, leader, I'm not using that word specifically, but B is balanced. We got a combination of the A's and the O's, right? The A side, which I will say is the bougie side. I take ownership of that. And O, that O in me is that barbaric side, and I take ownership of that too. I'm gonna take that too. And I'm gonna move right along to the O's. And man, as I always say, man, it's a lot of y'all. It's a whole lot of y'all, right? They are the original. They are the old school. I mean, they are the original blood type. They could give blood to everybody. Now, if I had to offer constructive criticism, and if I would kind of look at what how I may have interacted with the O, and some things that I've seen that may have, I'm like, man, especially going up what happens with the world, for time and time in and time out, I would say I would probably offer constructive criticism. And even with myself, like I say, these all apply to, everybody. It should be a measure that we strive for. I would say, man, you know what? The hardest part about this thing, and I'm relating it like what I got a little O in me, is I need to try, or the O's probably, let's say we need to try harder to adapt when change happens. Adapt to the change. That's kind of hard. It's really, really hard. I'm not saying that's an easy thing, but it's a measure. It's a standard, right? And then it took me a while to figure out this whole A-B dick thing, because there's not a lot of them. You might, I give it a conservative number, like out of every 200 people that I meet, one might be an AB. I'm like, dang, it's not a lot of ABs. Like, whoa, dang. So, and AB, I kind of like, well, it's not. I heard somebody say absolute balance, and I was like, man, the ABs, they receive from everybody. I'm like, man, you know what? That's deep. So I'm like, man, you know what? They can receive everybody's blood. They probably get all of that that's in all of everybody. I'm like, okay, well, that's a whole nother dynamic. That's the last blood type, because they, I'm saying last for a certain reason. And if anything, and I just came to this yesterday, I said, you know what? Well, with my little interaction and what I could only imagine the hardest thing for them would probably be, and if I had to say, well, God, you speaking to me too, what would be that thing? And I would say to them and to myself, don't overthink it. Bust the move, take action. Because I can only imagine with with everything, it's like, man. And maybe that's the hardest thing to do, to just not overthink things and just bust a move, take action, because you already got everything that you need right in front of you. So that's my 2 cents, Dr. Roz. Really didn't have anything to say. To recap, brief, and this is things that I think can speak to the whole embodiment of a person and who's working on self-development like myself. I'm telling myself to be present, play team, even if it doesn't go my way. Try harder to adapt to change and don't overthink it. Back to you, Dr. Roz.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's amazing information. So much that we can glean from that. And so, listen, guys, let's take that and run with it now. It's Thursday. And so, tonight at the headquarters is our Do You Know Your Blood Type presentation. Doors open at 7 p.m. Presentation starts at 7:30. You don't want to miss it. And then don't forget, for those that are in other cities and other states, at 7 p.m. sharp. Listen, she's been throwing it down, dropping the mic. Mama Dorsey, listen, you don't want to miss this because she has been sharing and has such a passion for the Do You Know Your Blood Type message. So get your guests on there because they will learn in just a short period of time what we're doing and where this move is taking us because we've got millions of people to reach and we've got a short time to do it. So let's get it done, guys. Be on the corporate Zoom. If you don't know that, get back with your upline. They'll be able to tell you that's the corporate Zoom. Share that and make sure if you put it on social media, don't put the password on social media. So we won't have the bombers to jump on, but just have them contact you. All right. So let's have a great Akana day, everybody. Bye for now.